Welcome back to the show. This is Fast Lane Radio. I'm your host with the most. Ayo, you know what it is. You're now chilling with me, your favorite host, man. It's Benjamin Edwin. And tonight you won't believe who's with me on set. This is the first ever interview I'm doing, of course, episode 1, as you can tell. And in studio with me tonight, I'm having none other but the one and only. Come on, give him a round of applause. It's Trology Everest. Wow, man. Hey, thanks for taking your time to talk to me, bro. Hey, absolutely no problem, man. It's my pleasure, man. So, Trology, man. I've heard a lot about you. I heard you got a great new album out. Too good to be true, right? We're gonna talk about it later. But first of all, I like us to talk about your latest song, "Party Party" from the last EP you did, the Kilele 3 final chapter EP. Tell me, what's your inspiration behind the album cover? Because first of all, I'll have to hand it to you. The album cover for Kilele 3, man, that's awesome. Is that what inspired that? Is that cat that's on the album cover? Is that a skinwalker? Or no, that's not. That ain't no skinwalker. None of that. You see the album cover. I keep on telling everyone that the album cover was uh, basically inspired by my home kitten, my kitty, yeah, my cat, of course, and period, nothing more, nothing less, man. And wow, for real, yeah, for real, man, it's awesome. Of course, apart from Party Party, the other track that I really love from this album is Yesu ni Bwana, man. Talk to us about it, because first of all, I hear that it's obviously a gospel track, right? Yeah, obviously a gospel track. Man, talk to me about it, man. What inspired you to make this record, first of all? Um, well, I'd have to say what inspired me to make the Yesu ni Bwana song. It's obviously the Heavenly Father. I mean, what else, right? Like, because I've come a long way. I don't believe my talent came from anywhere else other than from God. I mean, I've always been, anyone who knows me knows that I've always been a firm believer in God. I was brought up from a Christian family, so yeah, it's obvious, and everybody knows that. It's obvious that it's only God who inspired me. I really believe in God. Of course, I do believe in God. Though I'm not religious, but I do believe in God. I believe that there's a higher power, a higher power that's bigger than me. Wow. Well, the rest of this album, 22 tracks, if I'm not wrong. Of course, Yesu ni Bwana hasn't dropped yet. You haven't dropped it yet on your YouTube channel, but I've had it on Spotify playlist. Man, it's amazing. Hey, thanks, bro. I appreciate it. Man, this is really awesome. Let's take the short commercial music break. We'll be right back. But send in more questions. You got any other more questions? You probably want to go at Trology. You got questions you got for him. You wanna ask him another question. If you got a question you wanna ask Trology Everest, then please send it through our Twitter feed. course, I'm using the hashtag the the big star interview. Let's take that quick break. Of course, Trology, you understand, we've got to pay our bills, and we'll be right back in jiffy. And we're back. Hey, if you're just joining us right now, this is hashtag big star interview. And tonight with me studio, I'm joined by none other by the great music mogul, Trology Everest. Man, this guy is a huge star, like literally star. Let me ask you, by the before we take it even further, Trology, you obviously heard about the conspiracy theorists, that whole Illuminati nonsense. Are you one among the Illuminati? You also an Illuminati member? You Freemason? Me? No way, man. That's nonsense. Obviously, Illuminati is bullshit. I'm not an Illuminati. But come on, obviously, Trology can't lie to me. Because if we go to your Instagram, I found you were making some symbolisms in there. You also serve, you also be serving the man downstairs, or what? Oh, me? No, honestly, I've never been a Satan worshipper. I'm not a devil worshipper. And of course, the music industry is a little bit, of course, I don't want to say it. This is a family radio station, so I don't want to curse it, but it's messed up. And I always say it a lot in my Twitter feed. I'll never be a slave to the music industry, never be a slave to all these other music labels. That's why you decided to go independent. Yeah, that's why I'm an independent artist officially. You obviously know that I've got a brand new record label, that's Dragon Square Music, Triple LC. And any other artist out there who wants to sell their soul, that's fine. I can't blame them. They probably, not that I'm judging them, but at the same time, I'm not condoning it, but I'm not judging them at the same time. Like, you want to sell your soul so that you can succeed, please be my guest. But come on, Trology, bro, you kind of evading the question. You're evading the question. Stop just shrugging off the question. Like, you haven't answered the question yet. So, what I wanted to know, and of course what all the audiences also want to know, and so not only me, is are you also a Freemason member? Like a Freemason, you Freemason? No way, I'm not a Freemason. And those symbolisms you saw on my Instagram, I'll tell you this. Our Heavenly Father, Allah, created human beings differently, right? So, Allah created humans differently. So, if that's true, then my only explanation for that whole, that stunt that I pulled up, I like to call it a well-calculated stunt, of course, is very simple. Well, I guess, I just wanted to create, make up something that's, establish something that's gonna make people talk. Like obviously that one seeing all-seeing eye pyramid, the famous or the all-seeing eye pyramid that came from Egypt. That stuff, it's a philosophy. Egyptians are also mentioned in the Bible, right? So if Egyptians are mentioned in the Bible, God, I'll give you an example. They say I don't know so much about the good book in the Bible, and I don't read that book so much. But isn't it true that when God had visions, that Paul would obviously be his guy, and always push his agenda, God's agenda. So Paul had that crazy encounter in Damascus, right? Where of course God met him, and Jesus was like, "Why you?" He was like, "Why are you persecuting my people?" Yeah. So why are you persecuting me by persecuting my people? Then of course Paul later on, Saul, before he became Paul, he became blind officially, right? He was blind officially. So Paul I feel like Paul had to go undercover. The sheer fact that God, like, prophesied that, had a prophecy, give Paul the vision. Look, Paul's vision was basically the blindness. So all I'm trying to do here, by me making the symbolisms that you saw on Instagram, that basically, it's simple. It obviously means that, at the end of the day, I know people are gonna talk, whether you do good or evil. So I still wanted people to talk, because even though I never made those symbolisms, I'd still have haters on my neck, right? So why not also not go the other route, create the symbolisms and still make those people, because I could even make my fans my haters. That's totally possible in the music industry, obviously, absolutely. So that's exactly what I was trying to do, on my IG. I don't do, IG live a lot. I'm never on live. Like, I don't even do IG reels. I just post my selfies, post, a bunch of random stuff on Instagram, but important stuff still. Because the other day I posted something on my Instagram. I was launching. Tell my brother that whole crypto zeros. Yeah, and I say they're coming soon. It's a project that I've been working for years. I've got mine. Though I don't believe in NFTs, I create cryptos. NFTs are fake stuff. You remember Kanye West also said the same thing? Yeah, because nobody wanna deal with NFTs. NFTs are childish stuff. You're a public figure. You gotta deal with real stuff, man. Even like cryptocurrencies. Because I hear even Akon has done the same thing. Akon has a brand new coin called the Akon. I'm sure that whole thing is kind of familiar to you since you've had it on the blogs before. Wow, man. Trology, you're a true, you're a mad genius. Nope. Because if you'd call me a mad genius, what do we call you? See, here is also a genius. I guess God created all of us to be geniuses. Even the poor are also geniuses. People who are poor are also geniuses. Because they get the vision, then they become billionaires at the end of the day. Yeah, but still, I feel like you just a wise person, man. Do lots of people actually tell you? Do many people come around you normally give you the same credits like I'm giving you? Do many people actually come to you saying that you've actually motivated them with your brilliant quotes, brilliant outlook on life? Yeah, lots of people. You're not the alone. I also get a lot of criticism, a lot of hate, all in in equal good measure. But at the end of the day, that's life. We got to get used to it, right? So I tend to get by. I'm already used to that, obviously. And if I wouldn't have already made this body of work, then there'll never be such conversations like the one we're having right now. So anyway, before we play this brand new track of yours, Bass. It's also from your brand new album, Too Good to Be True, right? Yeah. Talk to me a little bit about that record, Bass, because it's catchy, man. What was going through your mind and your head? What are you guys really doing in the studio? What type of magic did you kind of establish in the studio in order for you to create such a huge hit on TikTok? Because this is a huge hit on TikTok right now. Yeah. I don't know. I guess honestly, not a lot. I don't. It's just me, and of course, take our shout to take our wild guess. That's my official independent music producer. Um, take a wild guess. He's a real awesome genius. He just drew some beats. Drew my email. I vibed with it. Took it to the studio. Called him up. He came. He made the record, the beat, mixed it up, uh, and threw it on my Spotify. Now that's how it got here. Now it's a huge hit on all radio stations. I don't really like being a mainstream act, but I guess wow, it's an amazing song, man. By the way, what's your opinion on all this current conversation of artists getting cancelled? You think that at least something has improved from that whole cancellation of huge you know, huge Hollywood celebrities? Because you remember even they did the same stuff to Will Smith, and at the end of the day, we all know that Will Smith was actually literally under the manipulation of Jada. So, but I really wanted to hear your opinion. What say you about that whole uh, getting cancelled saga? Well, I don't know how to put this. I guess you know if an artist like Lil Pump or got cancelled and he suddenly got angry and vented out and kind of you know sounded a little bit bipolar when he was ranting about getting cancelled. You never blame that guy, because come on, why are you ever gonna cancel? How are you gonna cancel someone simply because they're speaking the truth? That's nonsense. And you remember they also cancelled like Will Smith, and that's the crazy thing. I keep on asking that because yeah, exactly. I mean, the entire damn music industry is really screwed up, man. And that's why it's high time most of us, all of us artists started becoming independent. Most of my artists are really, they are really suffering out there in the music industry because they're simply, under the slave ships of the music labels that they are already signed to. Music labels like, Def Jam, Universal, Sony Music. First of all, and my music manager actually hates that music label, Sony Music. Of course, it's my independent music label manager. I'm not gonna mention his name, but I'm sure if he's listening to this interview, then he'd obviously guess that I'm talking about him. So he was like, Sony Music is the most Sony Music is the most silly, redundant, useless record label anyone can ever get signed to, because if it's not having that whole symbolism, red symbolism on top of the title, it's either suppressing the artist so much to the point that they just want to give up on the entire music thing, and that's what makes some of these huge rappers careers flop, simply because one of their concerts cancelled them simply because they weren't confident enough to to expedite on their on their own observations. So yeah, So that's exactly what even Logic was talking about. He was actually kind of blaming Def Jam for acting, giving itself the role of the therapist. It's not right, man. Yeah, most of these record labels. Actually, you are right. You are completely. You couldn't have been more right. You're so right. Most of these record labels, that's exactly who they are. They are therapists. They've branded themselves therapists, like without anyone permission. Like they think they're the therapists of, especially most of us, the Black Panthers who are suffering out here in the projects. And that's why when you kind of make it out of the mud, you also criticized by most of these uh, huge concerts, big events such as Rolling Loud. You remember what they did to that baby, and it wasn't right. I actually never supported that. I never liked what they did to that baby, canceling him. It wasn't right. Though of course that baby, I understand that baby is back on Rolling Loud, but on Rolling Loud, but still it doesn't guarantee anything. I mean, how like how is that baby even gonna predict that he's gonna get cancelled again? See what I'm saying? So man, it's crazy, yo. Well, so this amazing Everest choir that you invented in 2020, man, I've heard most of their work, the entire body of work, their music, it's amazing. How do you actually make sure that they really have the most perfect choreography, sound-wise and matches? Because right there it always sounds like it's a cult. It's like some cult you created. No, it's actually not a cult. That's the same stuff, messed up stuff they said about Kanye's Sunday service choir. And no, it's not. Conspiracy theorists always got some nonsense to talk about because they know they're gonna get traction online, and we don't do all that internet braggadocious nonsense. That's why I never even liked any internet gangsters. You wanna prove to the world that you made it out of the mud? Get outside. That's what Kanye always says. This is outside and you're outside. Prove it when you're outside, not when you're in the internet. Because that is obviously people gonna start saying that you're cloud chasing, and that's not right, man. It's never right, bro. Also, as we go on to drop your latest track base, how can people find you? Oh please, I'm everywhere, man. I'm on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. You follow me everywhere, man. I'm not on Meta, I'm not on Facebook. I'm also on TikTok, Snapchat. Get me everywhere, man. Trology, Everest, we all we got, man. I really want to appreciate your entire fam gang for sticking out for me right from the very point that start my entire music career started, man. I really appreciate it, man. Strong, man. Maintain. Wow. That has been Trology speaking to us. Kind of going a little bit, being a little bit vulnerable on the interview. This being your host with the mostest, it's Benjamin Edwin. Keep it locked right here. This is Fast Lane Radio. Thanks for joining us, brother. Thanks for having me. Much love. This is Fast Lane Radio.